Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we've got the next part in our Road to 2K or Hera's Guide to 2K Definitive Edition. I've made a series like this 1 year ago, as you guys already know, and it got a lot of traction on YouTube. So this is the updated version that I've gotten a lot of requests for. We're deep into the series now, around episode 7 or episode 8, and I've got some really nice content coming forward. So right now we're going to be taking a look at a couple hundred of ELO brackets. So it's going to be 1700 to 1800 ELO, that bracket here. And I really want to stress that around this ELO, it's not so much about builders, it's not so much about me telling you guys what to do or about getting information. It's really about applying the information we've built up in a way that's very logical and using all our knowledge built up to this point in order to actually win games and be or get very consistent results. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing for this episode or the next 2 episodes is going through replays of a viewer on stream. Is actually a very big supporter of the Age of Empire community in general. His name is Skill Yourself, and he's currently sitting around 1700 to 1800 ELO, so it's perfect around that range. And he got me 2 replays, and without further ado, let's just hop right into one of them this episode and the second one next episode. And that should be a good way of learning through analyzing his mistakes and his good plays and his gameplay in general. Okay, so we learn by watching others play and by watching our own games back as well. So that's the idea of doing some recorded games in this series, is not just to just do it randomly, but also to show you guys how at this level you kind of need to watch your own games to see what you went wrong or what you went inefficient, because again, there's no right or wrong. It's not a fact. It's just there's some plays that are more efficient and more logical than others. And it's a lot about practice. It's very nuanced at this level. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. So again, I kind of gave the intro already, so we're gonna just hop into it and check out the first replay. I have one of them where he plays against Survivalist, which is another Age of Empire content creator who's from Canada. So I'm very excited about this one. That being said, I'm gonna leave that one for the second video, just to build up some excitement there. And I'm gonna do first one versus he plays against Darth Varva. So probably some sort of I don't know, some Lord of the Rings fan or something like that. So we have Franks for Skill Yourself, Maggers for Darth Varva, and let's hop right into it. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you enter a recorded game. Highly recommend you turn on the score, get this tab open so you can actually see the kind of villagers and the stats of population and stuff, because that's the most important thing. And we're going to be analyzing the game from Skill Yourself perspective. So right off the bat, he's playing as the Franks, and he's playing in blue as the Franks. His opponent is playing in red as the Magyars. Very happy there's a Magyars here, because we've played a lot of Magyars on this series in general. And if you guys remember the last episode here, while the Dark Age is still going on, we're going to go to Fog of War. We're going to play this exclusively from Skill Yourself's perspective. The reason we want to play it from his perspective is because I don't want to have any additional knowledge, okay? Oh, some small talk happening here. Okay, that's not part of the build order, but that's good stuff. Good luck, have fun. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, Chad, okay? Very nice. So, again, these guys respect each other. That's good. No one ever respects me, but that's okay. It's a personal problem. And as you can see, Skill Yourself is doing the standard stuff we've all been talking about. He's scouting with his sheep. He's scouting in rings with his scout. So it's looking pretty good. Again, this is just very nice exploration so far, and not much to comment on. He's been doing the exact same thing I just spent literally like 4 hours talking about in separate videos. And it's nice to see that, well, I know what I'm talking about, because, well, the guys at this level are actually doing all of it. So very nice. He's picking up the boar. And oh, actually, this is a bit of a weird build. So right off the bat, I'm seeing a weird build. And at this level, it's not necessarily a bad thing unless I see this becomes a habit. So this is inefficient, but this is actually a bad thing. So Skill Yourself, what I would say is keep it simple, unless he's trying to go for the 19 pop scout rush with Franks. If he's doing 19 pop scout rush with Franks, then the 2-1 would make sense. And in fact, it does seem like he's going to be going for that. So this is more of an advanced build. He kind of messed it up. He needed the extra sheep. A little bit of a small slip up there. So again, that's okay. Again, like I said, it's not a mistake to go for the more advanced build orders. It's just you have to do it properly. That's a small mistake from Skill Yourself. Not going to grill him too much. But again, the basics is there. He's scouting the map. And now he's found 3 golds and 2 stones and his berries. So I promise you, after he does this ring, he will go scout his opponent. Alright? So he's going to probably scout this and then go scout his opponent. In fact, scouting this is useless because there's nothing there. We know this. Oh, there's the boar. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, he's missing the boar. Now he's most likely going to go scout his opponent. Let's see the decision making here. And yeah, there he is. He's going to go scout his opponent now. Not sure why he's wasting time. This is, I would say, a kind of a mistake. There it is. He's go. Yeah, he's going to go scout his opponent. Okay, well, we'll keep We'll keep an eye. Okay, this is a mistake. So he should be going to scout his opponent right now. He's taking too long to get things going. It's not the biggest deal ever. Bigger deal. Again, the borderlers can use some work here. So as you can see, even up to 1700, okay, that's good. Mistakes happen. I'm not gonna roast him too much because I make mistakes in my stream too. This skiller stuff. Come on, move your scout, dog. Use auto scout. Move, man. Go scout your opponents. I'm making guide here, man. Go move. Go scout opponents. Kill yourself. Okay, so he's gonna go scout his opponent. Guys, he had the right idea. Honestly, listen. Maybe his family needed something. Maybe he had to go rescue a cat from a burning building. Don't roast him. He maybe had things to do. We don't know this, okay? So anyway, he's doing his builder pretty well. The only mistake so far is definitely like the small mess up under the TC, and obviously wasting a lot of time with the scouting. But now he's gonna go ahead and scout his opponent, which is the right thing to do. Notice how he's doing the tips we talked about. He's staying near the forest. He shouldn't dwell too. No, this is the TC. This is close to TC. No, okay, he got lucky. It's the berries. He needs to scout around this now. Very nice. And back home, he's doing 19 pop scouts. But the builder isn't too efficient, I don't think. He's not going to be able to click up very easily. Yeah, he's going to have some idle time. So this builder, it was a very challenging one. So he took a pretty big, I would say, not risk, but a pretty challenging build to go for. And as you can see, he kind of messed it up. So he's going to go for 20 pop scouts, and that's okay. 19 pop is extremely sharp, so I don't blame him for messing it up. But I admire the courage to try it as well. And then send me the wreck, even knowing he didn't do the perfect build, so respect. But again, the build is quite similar to the 21 pop scouts that we took a look at. And it's basically just going, 4 vills on one lumber camp near the end, and then another 4 or another 5 to the other one. You'll probably get the 5th one here later on as well. There it is. Yeah, perfect. So this builder is showcased in my Discord as well, available for subs to my Twitch stream, which of course Skill Yourself is. So I'm going to say that he probably learned this from my Discord and practices it a lot himself, and now he's going to get the barracks on the front. So looking good so far. Now, any mistakes on the scouting? He knows where the berries are, and he knows where the wood is. So I would say there's very little mistakes in terms of scouting. What I will say though, the one more thing he could have looked for is what his opponent is going for. He didn't scout his main gold, so he doesn't know if his opponent is going to go men-at-arms. Right now, Skill Yourself is assuming that his opponent, playing as the Magyars, will go for just some scouts, okay? And I don't like that. I'd rather him scout the main gold to see if there's any men-at-arms or archers coming his way. So right now, again, a lot of scout idle time. That's the biggest mistake so far for Skill Yourself. He's got a lot of idle scouting time. But he's got the right idea. So he's going to make his barracks on the front towards his opponent. He'll probably send another build to make a stable. And he'll wall up the sides as well. I'm just getting a message from the chat that Skill Yourself is currently rated 1879. And by the way, when I asked him for the recorded games, he was rated 1700. 1715, I think. So he improved 150 elo in like a week and a half maybe. So that's pretty insane, right? So well played to him. Shout out to him. And again, maybe we'll get him on for a couple of questions at the end of the next episode, or maybe just for the Twitch stream if he's around. Maybe a little chat interview or something. And we can see that, what his experience in improving has been like. Okay, so he's going to go for some scouts. Again, I really don't like this. I really don't like this. He's keeping a scout at home, which is nice. He killed his opponent's scout. That's amazing. But he's just taking too much time to go across the map and see what his opponent's doing. When I play this game, I see myself, I'm blind. I don't know what my opponent's doing, okay? So I'm going to, I like the fact that he's spotted where he should attack, but I don't like the fact that he's idling his scouts. I have no idea what Red's going for. I'm assuming scouts, but I have no way to know for sure. So that's definitely one thing to consider, okay? Alright, so he's going to go ahead and be walling this right side now, and he's walling that left side as well. So he's walling with 2 villagers. We talked about this. 3 villagers even. We talked about this as well. He's getting a spearman. This is really good. I didn't talk too much about getting a spearman out, but the idea of getting a spearman is just to help defend yourself against your opponent's scout rush. Again, Skill Yourself is assuming his opponent's going scouts, which I think is a mistake. I do think that Red is going to go scouts because of his uptime and because I haven't seen men-at-arms till now, but he assumed. Skill Yourself assumed, and I think that's a good idea. Nonetheless, he's now going to attack with a spearman and a couple scouts, and he's using his villagers at home to wall. So this is all a very, very solid build. This is all, a really good way to play Feudal Age so far. We can tell that he's playing the Feudal Age quite well, and he's even getting the farms down every time he's got 60 food or 60 wood. Yeah, there it is. He's spending his wood very efficiently. Really good. Let's see the micro now. So his opponent is also a 17 to 1800 level player, so his opponent is going to know how, how to play past the feudal age or past the dark age and into the feudal age. Very, very nice walls there, defending himself. Skill yourself, okay, that's not the biggest deal. Losing a spearman. Oh, but now there's a problem. Now there's a problem. He's got some scouts in his base. So how does he react? He fights with his villagers. Okay, yeah, these are Magyar scouts. They have an extra attack, so that's one vill down. It's not the biggest deal, but now he needs to defend. Then wall. Okay, well, Red, you've got some problems with yourself. Stop Xing my boy Skill Yourself's wall. Good micro. He's going to block the scout and then runs away. Look at this. Very nice control of the scouts. Very nice control of the scouts. And yeah, he's gonna wall that up. Oh, I guess they were nice to each other. Okay, very cool. So catching that hole in the wall, Red says just wall it up, and Red now goes back to defend. So Skill Yourself lost one vill, so he's behind. Oh, he's actually behind a couple villagers here, but this is because of idle time again. Because Skill Yourself messed up his build order. He went for one that's that's really challenging, and he didn't quite work out for him. So he's behind in some vill counts, but at the same time, he's doing a pretty good job. Oh, sorry, I went to my opponent's Fog of War. He's doing a pretty good job keeping the pressure on the map here, okay? So now what do I want to see? We're closing in on 14 minutes and he still hasn't gotten to gold. He's also kind of late with the farms. So again, the build order, even up to 1800, is not perfected in Feudal Age. So when people tell me, Hera, I'm 1300, how do I play a late game? Don't. Play Feudal Age, please. Master your Feudal Age, really. Because, yeah, and he's still open here. Hopefully he finds it. That's not important. What's important here is that you master your feudal age. So Skill Yourself, what I would say is get this down a little bit cleaner, because you should be going to go a little bit earlier. So the feudal age needs a little bit of work, and if it gets to imp, obviously just try your best, but don't focus on the important things in imp before you got your feudal age mastered. But I will say though is that Skill Yourself's micro is really good. I think that's his best part of his game that he's shown so far. Let's look at the control here. So he's going to be running around with the scouts, dodging all the spearmen, looking for plays on villagers, and then as soon as he finds scouts, he just runs away. So his micro is actually really good. I think that's his best part of his game so far, from what I've seen. And he's going to be now taking this gold on the front as well. So, again, good transition to the gold. It's a bit late, but it's not the worst thing ever. He'll be like 1 or 2 minutes later to Castle Age. And it does seem like he's going to be wanting to go scouts into knights here. Yeah, gets wheelbarrow when he has 5 on gold. Brings a tear to my eye. This guy knows the build orders, man. This might not have been his cleanest run, but he knows the build orders. 5 on gold and 2 wheelbarrow. This is exactly what I type in the text pad, and he's following it perfectly. So, you can clearly tell he knows what he's doing. He's got 10 on wood, farms, and 5 on gold. You can clearly tell he knows what he's doing. Very, very strong build. Yeah, he's still open at the back. It's a bit unfortunate. Let's call it unlucky, okay? And his opponent looks like he's walling up. So at this point, let me pause here to talk about something to consider now. At this point, Skill Yourself is probably thinking to himself, and what he should be thinking to himself, do I want to invest more into Feudal Age? Do I want to switch into skirmishers? Do I want to switch into archers? The answer to all those questions is no, because his opponent is fully walled. His opponent has defended. His opponent has a few scouts on the field. So there's no reason for Skill Yourself to invest more into Feudal Age. So I think he's not going to make any other unit till Castle Age. Let's see if he thinks the same way. And let's consider it. So again, this is only because it's an adaptation of what his opponent is doing. If his opponent is open, maybe Skill Yourself would add a few scouts, and maybe it would be correct to do so. Yeah, walling to the edge of the map usually is a little bit better as well. It does secure you more of the map, and it leaves like less chances for holes for sure. But these things happen, and yeah, a little bit of a bad trade there. But these scouts aren't the most important thing in the world now. The most important thing is to click up to Castle Age. And, okay, the gold should be coming in. There it is. Gold is in, and he's clicking up. Alright. Fantastic. So, again, it's not the cleanest build. It's not the worst build, but it's not the best build. So, definitely something to consider here. He'll probably make a second stable now. Okay, he makes a spearman. So there is a chance he goes for Pike Siege, because if you look at this, this is a nice time to pause. If you guys remember, I talked about going forward siege. Look at this hill. It's overlooking 2 golds, and if you push a little bit more, from this hill, if you got a siege up here, you can actually corner to this 3rd gold. So if Skill Yourself at any point in the game would be to pressure this side, I think he wins. And I don't know if he wins or loses this game, by the way. I have no idea. But if at any point he pressures this area, he can win, okay? So he has a couple ways to do it. He's going to actually add a second stable here, so this is really good. He can pressure and castle age with siege and knights and pikes and stuff like that and monks. Or he can just pressure, you know, in late game with maybe a castle on this hill and pressure with like some trebs and some knights. So he's got two options, either in Castle Age or in Imperial Age, depending on what he wants to do. Clicking your opponent's units, as you can see, we just saw Bloodlines, +1 armor, +1 defense. Skill yourself a bit slow to getting upgrades. So definitely needs to pick up armor and forging, and definitely needs to pick up his gold upgrade as well. Don't think he got any of those. As you can see, his opponent is actually getting... So I don't mean to go to his opponent's perspective, but he's getting the gold money upgrade. So his opponent's solid. His opponent's very solid. This is not an easy game here. Alright, Magyars have the extra attack, so they're naturally going to win the Spearman War. Very good. Okay, now skill yourself. Again, he didn't get armor. I'm not sure why. To me, it seems like a mistake, unless he can justify it to me. And again, at this level, I talk a lot about justifying it, because some stuff that you can defer from the builder, as long as you have a purpose, it's fine. But if there's no purpose, I would call it a mistake. So let's see. So far, it's a mistake, unless he really proves to me in the next couple minutes that he didn't actually need the armor. Let's see. Turns out he's making pikes. Now he's making knights. And now he's going to get the TC on... Look at this. He knows the builds. He gets a TC on the gold and another woodline and a TC on a woodline as well. He knows exactly how you should be, you know, playing this one out. So it's very good. It's very good. I really like this castlage, and yeah, it was just a mistake. Yeah, he's just late with the scale barding armor. So like I said, it was a mistake to not get it. He's also missing the gold upgrade. So again, this is a mistake because if he's forced to fight now, he's going to be lacking upgrades, and that's so bad. His opponent has free upgrades from Magyars, so he's going to be ahead in that regard. And ooh, this could be bad. No, you cannot fight. He's missing upgrades, and this is exactly what I talked about. Okay, Red should never have retreated there. Red should have fought that for sure. So skill yourself getting a little bit dicey here. Red is giving him too much space, I think. So, in my opinion, if you put skill yourself here against, let's say, Viper pressures a lot harder than Red is doing right now. But nonetheless, I think skill yourself is doing okay to just not fight and react later. He now has his upgrades. He's only missing, well, he's missing 2 upgrades over his opponent, actually. And good quick wall, has his monastery out as well. So now he's getting pressured hard. How do you react from this position? He's getting hard pressured, and I think the reason for this is just because Red is going 1 TC. I can't confirm for sure, but I see a lot of spears and I see a lot of knights. Can I check? Let's check. Let's just check if I'm sure. Yeah, it's 1 TC. So I was able to guess that he's going 1 TC because there's just so much army, and Skill Yourself invested into 3 TC. So you guys can see this right now. I was actually correct. It was only 1 TC for his opponent. And whether Skill Yourself knows this or not, we don't know. So how do you react from this position? Skill Yourself needs to stall as much as he can, buy time. Even if he loses a few villagers and a few knights, it's okay. As long as he doesn't completely lose like a huge fight, like loses like 20 villagers, I think he can still be in a good position here. 3 TCs means he's making more villagers, so his economy will grow over time compared to his opponent only doing 1 town center right now. Let's see if Skill Yourself will be able to hold on here. It seems like he knows he's behind militarily, and it seems like he's doing the right steps so far with getting a monk. But it does seem like his economy is not the most balanced. Oh, actually, he's doing okay. He's got a lot of gold. He's just waiting for it to come in. So his economy is actually doing really well. 0 idols or 1 idol, and he's doing well under pressure. He's not panicking. So this is actually really good. And if you take a look at what Red is doing, Red is wasting so much time. There's no forward siege from Red. And so I talked about this. If you want to pressure a walled opponent, generally forward siege is the way to do it in Castle Age. And Red isn't doing that. So if Skill Yourself walls properly, and he actually failed here a little bit, Red won't be able to get in here. Red is trying to force his way in. Skill Yourself has a monk to defend, and he's just trying to stall. Remember that. He doesn't actually want to fight. He just wants to stall and defend himself so he's not losing too many vills. Gets the wall there, and this is such a tight choke that Skill Yourself actually is doing a great job healing. Oh, that's amazing. That is actually amazing. Okay, he knows the right idea. He needs to wall this. He's not able to do it though. Oh, Skill Yourself. We need to defend this area. He abandons it. Again, this is fine. It looks bad, but Red is on 1 TC. Remember this. Red is on 1 TC. So Skill Yourself is allowed to lose a little bit of units here. It's not a big deal. You just gotta take proper fights here. He's taking a big fight here to commit to this one. He's killing the spears. Town center might help. The monks are definitely helping with some conversions. It looks bad for... No, it looks good for skill yourself, actually. Yeah. Looks bad for red. Yeah, that was good for skill yourself. Perfect. Perfect. So as you guys just saw, skill yourself stalled until he was able to clear it up. And after you get raided like this, check your idols. Alright? 6 idols. He needs to check all of them and fix them as fast as possible. And then get his TCs working again. Him being idle right now is a bad thing. He needs to fix his eco as much as possible. Are they even on upgrades now? So skill yourself is still missing 2 upgrades. But again, that's not really skill yourself's fault. That's because Magus gets free attack and because red stayed 1 TC. So skill yourself, despite being on the defensive, is actually, in my opinion, ahead right now. He's ahead 3 villagers and he has 3 TC already set up. And he has more knights on the field currently. However, there's some rams coming in from red. So if there's some pikemen here, it could be problematic. But if it's just rams, you can fight. You can fight. You have more knights. Very nice. He's got less upgrades, but he's got the 2 monks here. This could be a huge fight for skill yourself. Conversion comes in. I think that was just 1, not 2. If skill yourself wins this fight, he will pretty much be in a position to win the game. It's a domination. He's going to clear the rams, and I promise you he's going to get the score lead after he clears the rams, because now his villagers are kicking in. He has 8 more vills. He has better army control at this point, better army on the map. He clears the rams, and bam, the score lead for skill yourself. Exactly as concluded, and this is exactly what we thought would be the case. Look at how he's spending his resources. This brings the tears to my eye, guys. No resource is above the gold. The gold is the most at 300. No 1000 wood that we see at lower levels. He has cleaned up his game a lot. So some small mistakes early on with the scouting, getting a little bit late on the upgrades, put him in a bad position, but he did a good job to get back in there. Okay, so now we're seeing 3 TC, and he's going to continue, producing. He's also adding the second stable that he lost. We might see him now. Actually, let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what the next steps are for skill yourself here. So we talked about this in the 1500 to 1600 video. You want to expand to your map past your 3TC boom to the sides. This is all dark. I want to see a monk, now that skill yourself has calmed down, I want to see these monks pick up the relics and then scout the sides of the map. This helps set up his late game. It helps set up in the sense of that he can pick up relics and he can pick up gold, and it also lets him see if there's any sneak buildings from his opponent. Very important to scout the size of the map. And then with his knights, I want to see him launch a counterattack, and with his buildings, I want to see him expand on the front to get more, maybe some stables out here, and maybe, if I'm being so bold as to say a siege workshop here or a castle here, something like that to take this hill. Very important. There's 2 goals here. I want to see skill yourself take this hill. Let's see if he does any or all of that. Oh shit. Very nice. I'm impressed so far, but again, let's see. The next few minutes will determine if I'm going to be impressed with this game or is this going to be an average game. Let's see what skill yourself can do. Right away. What did I say? Stable outside his base. I didn't see this game before, by the way. I just said what the theory was, and he literally just did it. So the theory was you make your stable outside your base, literally right after. So very, very nice. Good prediction for me if I say so myself. And now there's some pikes. Don't be scared of pikes if you have knights, unless there's a good mass of them. If they're in small numbers, you can still kill them. And then you can go back and heal your knights, which is exactly what he's doing. So this, and forward siege. So I will say this is a mistake. It should be on the hill. He's an absolute beast, I'm telling you, Roxy. Yeah, I agree with that because he's playing really well right now. I literally gave the theory beforehand, so this is not biased. I'm not just saying this because, oh man, he's so good, blowing up his horn or anything like that. No, I don't know what that saying is, by the way. But he's doing the theory properly. He's getting the forward siege. Again, it's a mistake to put it on the flat ground. It should be on the hill. Skill yourself. You want to attack from the hill downwards. It's much better. Now he's attacking on flat ground, okay? So he's taking good fights versus the pikes. And if he's really, really playing well, he goes back to heal his knights now. And then he gets some mangonels out. Back home. 3 TCs, more stables. The only thing, he's not scouting the sides. He's not scouting the sides of the map, okay? Alright, vill count is 69 to 67, so we can tell by this that red has actually, expanded his eco, added in town centers, okay? And, yeah, now there's some knights healing. It literally looks like I watched this replay before, but I promise you I didn't. I'm just calling out what's the best play in theory, and it's actually exactly what we're seeing in these mid-level. I would say close to advanced level, 1700 to 1800. I would say it's close to advanced level Age of Empires here. So yeah, there's some small mistakes. I feel like I should point this out. So there's some small mistakes from Skill Yourself, and I say small, but they're quite impactful. Okay, he's idling his TCs too much, and I know this because for A, I've seen it. I've seen the queue, and B, his opponent somehow caught up. So his opponent is 3 TC as well, but his opponent got 3 TC way later, and we know that. Like, we knew that. Okay. So Skill Yourself has been idling. It's the only way Red can catch up because Skill Yourself hasn't lost a villain in a while. So if there's one thing I'd recommend is cycle your TCs more often. Don't idle your TCs. It's a bad habit when you're attacking to idle your TCs. Get into the habit of adding more villagers in more often. By the way, look at this. So now Skill Yourself is attacking from the same ground, and now all of a sudden Red has the hill. There's no reason for this. If you make the Siege Workshop on the hill, you claim the hill. You claim the hill. Very important. Okay. Yep. Mangonels from hills are very dangerous. Now Skill Yourself, for some reason, is fighting downhill all of a sudden. More stables forward, exactly what we talked about in the last episode as well. You make use of the map control by making your buildings forward. And now he can't fight, but if he was on the hill, I promise you he could fight. So, huge mistake to make this huge workshop here. Huge mistake. Should have been on the hill. I cannot stress this enough. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken telephone. Skill Yourself is probably watching this like, shut up, Harry, you already said that. But I promise you, it's because it's important. Okay, so now we got the Mangonels here. You cannot fight this. No, 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 this is bad. This is downhill. Oh, actually, you just got a really good Mangonel shot. Oh, okay, I guess you can fight it. Okay. Okay, I was wrong. I'll admit, I was wrong. There's some really good Mangonel shots that came in, though. I swear, it was actually beastly. I was wrong there. You could fight it. But again, point being, you just win more if you're downhill, man. If you fight downhill, it's much better. And now he's taking out the town center. Notice how aggressive he's playing now as well. Gets a conversion on the pikeman. He's completely relentless here. He's completely relentless. Well played. He's looking like he's gonna win the game very soon. Okay. Now we're seeing some town centers from Red. I want to quickly take a look. I'm sorry, I have to pause. The coach in me has to look back. So okay, again, I like you're playing down the center. You're playing well, but I would really love it if you just had some. Pick up the relics. It's an extra step. It's an extra step. You pick up the relics, you scout the size of the map. It helps so much versus better players. It helps so much to increase your level. He's got a couple Bobs and a Sandy back here making houses as well, so that's good to see too. But again, he can definitely be playing a little bit more complete, I would say. Right now he's playing a little bit too linear down the center. And I see this in 2K plus games as well, so don't think it's only at this level. I see it across a lot of levels here. Alright, Mangonel taking out some houses here. Some knights killing the houses in the front. Notice how aggressive he's playing. He gets an advantage, and he doesn't go back. He continues pressuring. He's spending his resources. He's making villagers. He's doing all the right steps here in actually carrying this lead to a win, and not just getting a lead and throwing. Very nice. He's not giving his opponent a chance to breathe. As you can see, very, very aggressive. And even though his opponent has pikemen, and you think pikemen in theory counter knights, but Skill Yourself has more knights than there are pikemen. I promise if you throw enough rocks at your opponent's paper, you will win eventually. Just kidding, that's not how that works, but in Age of Empires it is how it works. Counters are only a thing if you have enough numbers to make it a counter. And yeah, Skill Yourself is just absolutely destroying him here. Completely destroying him. And the GG's called. Well played, Skill Yourself. GG to Red. Well played to Red in all fairness. Red, if you're watching the stream, I think you played pretty well too. You should be pretty happy with this performance. Both played really well. Both were respecting each other. And let's get some Hera claps in the chat here for our boy Skill Yourself and for our boy the Red player here, Darth Vava, Lord of the Rings fan from day one, I assume here. But anyway, I don't know. Just a quick recap. This game, it was, you know, a build order that wasn't the cleanest, could have used some work, but I definitely liked it from Skill Yourself. Then we saw him go for the scouts into full wall, a standard build order from our Discord, obviously. He's definitely learned it. Then he went into a 3TC boom in Castle Age, defended the all-in pressure in a pretty decent way. It wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best, it was okay. And then he went forward in doing the exact right steps. He went forward with some stables, or like some expansion stables, and then he went forward to claim map control, which is exactly what we talked about in the last episode, where we considered 1500 to 1600 ELO range, and what you should be thinking about in your games and castles during that one. And then he followed up by spending his resources, making a lot of stables, and completely destroying his opponent. He didn't mine stone because he didn't feel like he needed it, and I think he played really well. So overall, I would say very well played. Some small mistakes like idling your town center, some important mistakes like idling your town center. Some small situational mistakes like where the siege workshop was placed, and his gameplay is not quite complete because he can easily scout the size of the map, get access to the relic, the extra resources, and the extra hills to be able to complete his late game and finish off this castle age. Very well played, and let's move on to the next episode. But that's going to be it for this on YouTube, and stay tuned for next week while I bring out the next game from Skill Yourself that will be casting on the stream. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next episode.